What's going on, DashClicks fam? Can I get a 700 in the chat, baby? We're gonna have a live webinar for you guys today. 700 in the chat, guys, if you can hear me. If you guys can see me, let me feel the momentum. There's literally hundreds of you on here. Drop in the chat. Where in the world are you from? Drop it in the chat. Let's go, everybody. Let's go. Today, I'm gonna show you guys how to make a little bit of money, or actually a lot of bit of money with a little bit of time, maybe? Something like that. Something really cool like that. Where in the world are you from? Drop it in the chat. Let's get this webinar lit, people. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. What's going on, DashClicks fam? Boy, it feels good to be on here to do another beautiful marketer's mindset webinar for you guys today. Guys, today we're going to be talking about something that was, for me, revolutionary. We're going to talk about how to get 10 scheduled appointments per day with an outsourced call center. If you guys are okay with me showing you how to make some money today with an outsourced call center and how to automate a lot of the stuff that you're going to be doing, drop a yes in the chat. Drop a yes in the chat for me. Let's go, people. Drop a yes in the chat. Woo! Let's go. Oh man, I love you guys. First and foremost, thank you guys for showing up and showing up strong. You guys are showing up hot right now. There's people from all over the world in the webinar, hundreds of agencies right here on my side screen. I see the love. I see all of your comments. If you have anything to say, drop it in the comments right here. I see everything that you guys are saying right here on the side screen. All right, guys, let's go straight into it, guys. Like I said, I'm going to show you guys how to get 10 scheduled appointments per day with an automated outsourced call center, okay? Now I want to talk to you guys, let's go P&P real quick. I want to talk to you guys about memory lane really quick, okay? Because for you to really understand how this whole system works, you really have to understand the backstory and everything that I went through that led me to being able to basically create a lead generation machine, okay? So, first and foremost, I want to show you guys where I started, okay? On September 13th, 2009, this is literally where I started my agency, okay? It's just like many of you, in my room, at my parents' house, with just a computer and a chair, okay? So you see Chad from DashClicks, you see this very successful person, this entrepreneur, this whole journey that I've been through, guys, this wasn't easy. Okay, it wasn't all glory along the entire road. I want to show you guys just a glimpse of some of the stuff that I went through, and then we're going to talk about some amazing frameworks that you can take today and literally run with as fast as you can to start using this method, because this method changed my life, okay? This was my 90-degree moment, if that's what it's called, okay? And also, if you guys stay all the way until the end of the webinar, I'm going to be giving you guys a freebie. I give you guys something for free. It's a training that we've never released before to the public. I'm going to give you guys a free training at the end of the webinar, so go ahead and stay all the way until the end. Not only are you going to gain all the knowledge, but you're going to get some freebies at the end. Okay, you guys cool with that? Say yes in the chat. Say yes, Chad, in the chat. Awesome. So guys, just like many of you, September 13, 2009, I literally I went to sunbiz.org. Okay, because I live down here in Florida, filled out my application to incorporate my LLC. It was called Social Agency in 2009, guys. This is over a decade ago, okay, guys? But I want you to see exactly where I started, okay? Now let's fast forward. Let's do a little fast forwarding, because I'm not going to sit here and waste your time. I know what you guys are here for, but like I said, you need to understand the backstory. It's very important, okay? Year 4 in business, okay? August 2nd. 2013, I decided to take a leap of faith, okay? And by leap of faith, I mean, hey, I'm gonna make this a real business, okay? Now, I want you guys to understand something, okay? It took me literally 4 years, okay? It took me 4 years to actually personally make a decision on if this is what I wanted to do with my life, okay? I'm gonna swing backwards really quick. Now, when I was in this room, guys, I was in my parents' house. This was my room. This is my room at my parents' house, okay? I used to sit in that chair, and I used to work. I used to try getting clients just like you guys are trying to do. Every single day. This is my job for 4 years. And every single day, my mom would walk into the room and say, Chad, are you sure this is what you want to do with your life? Are you sure this is a business? Are you sure you're actually going to make money? Are you sure this is your career? Now keep in mind, guys, at this point in time, I really had nothing else going for me. I was working really crappy jobs, just like most of you guys are. I used to be a grill man at 2 different restaurants down here in South Florida, flipping freaking hamburgers, okay? This was it. I felt like it was my calling, right? So for 4 years, I sat in this freaking chair, right here, that exact chair. And I fought, and I fought, and I fought to try to make this whole conception of owning an agency, owning a business, being an entrepreneur, I wanted to make it a reality, okay? So I took the leap of faith. My friend had an office, had about a 2,000 square foot office, and the entrance to his office, his lobby, there was literally one small office, which you can see right here where the glass is, and then there was one desk and then another little side desk here. It was just enough for 3 people, okay? So I took the leap of faith. I said, hey, I don't have any money to pay for an office, I want to be honest with you, but maybe we can do some bartering, okay? So I ended up doing SEO and content writing for my good friend in order to get this little nook of an office space. After 4 years of even figuring out this whole agency, think about it, this is what I wanted to do, right? August 2nd, 2013, okay? This was my office right here, and you can see I had a little window, which is basically my project manager. This is her name was Angie. This was my first employee that I ever hired, okay? Now guys, going from 0 to an employee is very difficult, especially when it's your first employee, okay? Because in your mind, you're like, dude, I'm making all this money, and then if I bring an employee, now I have to pay that employee, and that's gonna come out of my pocket, right? And I don't know if that's something that I wanna do, right? But as an entrepreneur, we need to think differently. We need to think about expansion. We need to think about growing your business, right? And creating something for you guys where it might be your dream, it can be a reality, right? But you're never gonna get there without a team. I can tell you guys that from experience, okay? So I decided to put on my big boy pants, and I hired my first employee, and her name was Angie, okay? And she would sit at this desk every day, and every order that I sold, she would fulfill. This was my DashClicks, basically, back in the day, my own internal little DashClicks. This was my fulfillment company, okay? Guys, who remembers a story about Bruce, which is my sales rep that used to go door to door, walking in? He was a bank robber. Say yes in the chat. Any of you guys remember that story? So as I was going, a lot of you guys, so as I was going through the time capsule, remember I told you Bruce was this old guy? He used to have on these khaki pants and this button-up shirt that was always open with his gray hair, a little sweetheart, but he was a bank robber. I found that after I hired him that he robbed the bank a couple months previously and he got out of jail. Well guys, I found a photo, that's Bruce in my office. So my rotation of me being in this office was, hey, I'm over here all the way to the left, I'm doing sales, right? I'm closing deals. Then in the middle I had Angie fulfilling orders, banging out all the orders that I was fulfilling. And then all the way to the right, I had my fronter, which was Bruce, who was going out on the street, literally getting people interested in our services, so that way I can call and close. Then it would go to Angie, she would fulfill, and then I would get another client, and we'd do the same thing, we circle back. And I was in there for a couple of years, until I decided once again, I gotta put on my big boy pants. I'm gonna have to take this to the next level. So literally, 5 years after the opening of my business, October 20th, 2014, I decided to get our first real office. And by saying real, not to say that the last one wasn't real, it just wasn't my office. I was doing SEO for one of my friends to share the space. I wasn't paying rent, okay? This was the first office where I had to pay a rent check every single month. This was also the first office that was big, that held the capacity of like 15, 20 people, okay? So for those of you guys who are entrepreneurs going on this journey, that's a scary move to make, man, okay? On top of that, well, you're not just gonna get an office, big office without any employees, without a team, right? So I actually went out and I started hiring a bunch of people. And I said, me as an entrepreneur, I want to take this journey to the next level, okay? And like most of you guys, if you see something working, you want to expand on that, right? And you want to scale it out. You start getting excited. The excitement starts to build in you, right? And it's just like what happened to me. So literally, I started hiring a bunch of people. This was now my new fulfillment center. This was my sales team. As you can see, they got all the sales maps. They were all working off of territories. This was our conference room. This is us in the office hanging around. We're actually shooting some videos. That was actually my office. So I had my own little space. And then we were a storefront. So I had our little sign. And you can see on that sign, it says web design, SEO, online marketing, and printing. So year 5 of my business, October 20, 2014, this is what we did. Let's keep going. Year 7. Let's fast forward now 2 years, October 1st, 2016. 7 years later. Now guys, I want you guys to focus on something. When you see these numbers, it says year 7. Dude, that's 7 years of my life. That's hard work. That's me going through this entire journey that, yeah, within 5 minutes, I'm quickly fast forwarding it. But I want you guys to understand what I went through to get to this point so you can see what real entrepreneurship is and you can really take it in and digest it and see if it's a good fit for you, okay? Year 7, October 1st, 2016. I said, I got to pick up my big boy pants again. We got to expand one more time, okay? We were at the point where we had about, I think like 12 or 13 employees, something like that. We're getting to capacity in our office. And I said, I got to expand again. We got to go into a bigger space. So on October 1st, 2016, we moved into our current office, which is the office that we're in today. And we threw a little opening party. This is what it looked like. Okay. That was our sales team. Some rooms in the office of our production team, people working, fulfilling orders. That was our team right when we moved into the office. This was our call center, which is the room that I'm in right now. Can we hit the GoPro real quick? So this room on the bottom right is the room that you're looking at. This was a call center. Look familiar to you? Right? A lot of big moves throughout this journey, guys. I want you guys to really understand everything. Let's keep going. February 9th, 2017. It was the middle of the night. Literally, I can remember this like it was yesterday. Middle of the night, okay? I started thinking, I started having all these thoughts. And I was like, well, I feel like we need something. We were growing really fast at the time. I said, I think we need something to really help us organize everything that we're doing. I think we need something that's going to help us be transparent, more transparent with our clients. I think we need something that's just going to connect us and our customers better. And I think that that's what we were missing, right? So, on February 9, 2017, I literally got up out of my bed in the middle of the night and started mocking up what we know as today, the first version of DashClicks. Guys, this is what DashClicks looked like in my mind on February 9th, 2017. What do you guys think about this? Drop your comments in the chat. Drop your comments in the chat, guys. February 9, 2017, this is what DashClicks looks like, guys. All the software that you guys are using today. But then something really cool happened. I actually decided that this was a really good idea. And this was something for me that I also had a passion for. I had a passion of innovating and building, and this entrepreneurship was built in me, mixed in with the marketing and everything combined. So on October 1st, 2018, which is literally a year later, my dream became a reality. We launched version 1 of DashClicks. The software that you guys know today, that you guys know and love, that you guys are logging into every day to help manage your clients, that you guys are using for your white label fulfillment, your education, your tools. This is literally it. This is what we had. This was the first launch of DashClicks. Then 10 years later, literally July 1st, 2019, so about a year after launch, I got a call. I was actually out of the country. Got a call from Tommy, which is our CFO, said, hey, the office next door to us just moved out, and I think we should take this advantage because we're growing the company. I think we should take this moment in time to literally break through that wall and double up on our office space. And we were at the point where we were like, okay, well, this DashClicks thing, it's taking off, but we don't really know how far it's gonna get. It's scary, right? Now keep in mind, guys, we were already in like a 2,500 square foot office that can fit like 25 people. Now we're talking about taking another 2,000 square foot office that can fit another 20 people. It was scary, man. So, being an entrepreneur that I am, without hesitation, I said, Tommy, call our landlord, work out a deal, see what you can do. Let's get this office next door, bro. Let's take this thing to the next level. He literally called me back an hour later, said I spoke to the landlord, I worked out a deal. She's sending over the contract right now. July 21st, 2019, we decided to bust through our wall, which had our social agency logo on it. As you guys can see right here, our little logo was on the wall. We started expanding DashClicks. So behind that wall, I'll go back really quick. So this little wall is now what we have our DashClicks lounge. Expanded, opened up more desks, expanded our department, more employees, bigger team, bigger, better, stronger than ever, in fact. Now guys, I want you to understand something. This is literally 10 years later. So for most of you guys who come onto these webinars and you see me preaching and talking to you guys and teaching you things, most of you guys are trying to go out and you're trying to do something right now, really quick, and you want instant gratification, instant results, right? What you don't realize is behind the scenes, maybe you haven't known, you didn't know this, maybe you didn't know this at all, right? It's a bit of a process, okay? Let's keep going. I want a fast forward to current day. Current day, 10 years later, after all that hard work that you guys see me go through, and keep in mind, guys, there's a lot of nitty-gritty in between. A lot of nitty-gritty in between hiring people, firing people, losing accounts, thinking that you're going to close the company because you don't have enough accounts or clients to keep it up to speed, making sure that you're going to hit payroll this week for the 15 employees that you guys have. As an entrepreneur, that shit gets scary. And as you're expanding, it only gets scarier. So what I want you guys to know is, don't let this scare you. Just keep moving, okay? Because 10 years later, now I have a growing business. I'm making money. I'm my own boss. We service thousands of customers, full-time employees, big office space. I bought my dream car that I always wanted. I'm married to my dream wife, and not because of the money. I met her before. Some of you assholes out there. I'm not saying this to brag, guys, okay? I'm literally showing you that your dreams can become reality. And I'm living proof of that, because this is where I started 10 years ago, before this entire journey. But now, I'm able to speak on stages at events in front of hundreds of people. I'm able to speak at local events. This is a real estate event that I spoke at. About 150 people in the room talking about marketing. I'm able to have people from all over the world fly down to the DashClicks headquarters for an entire day and let us teach them. This is some inspiring stuff, guys, hopefully. Let's keep going, though. One thing I do want to say, and I want to be very cautious of what's happening here during this story, is I don't want to let the looks deceive you, because we literally struggled for years. There was moments where I wasn't making any money. And as an entrepreneur, you take all that money and you dump it into your business because you know it's for the good of the business. And you put your emotions and your head to the side, and you're like, you know what? I'm not going to make any money for the next year. I'm just going to grow my business and grow my team, right? So, and that was my story, right? But that might not be your story. And everybody's different. But what I want you guys to see and to realize when you're watching all of these gurus out there on the web, that they're showing you how to go out and start an agency, It's 1 hour a work week. You're building out your agency and you only got to work on it for 1 hour a week. Do you guys really think that I was able to grow an entire team in a business by working 1 hour a week? It's not reality, okay? Or taking all of these courses that teach you how to do one-off things, right? Where it's like, hey, I'm gonna figure out this LinkedIn strategy and I'm gonna crack the code and I'm gonna be a millionaire and I'm gonna have a huge team. Guys, unfortunately, I hate to break it to you because we sell courses too. It really doesn't work that way, okay? These are all frameworks that you can implement into your business, but this is not the entire picture, okay? Even what I'm gonna teach you guys now, I'm gonna teach you guys something amazing here in literally about a minute or two that's gonna blow your socks off. And you're gonna take it and you're probably gonna use it and implement it and you're gonna make a lot of money doing it. But this might not get you to what most of you want, a huge agency, right? Because this is just one framework, okay? So after all of this, I'm running and I'm running and I'm running, and 10 years later, I finally hit my aha moment. Any of you guys ever have an aha moment where you're like, holy shit, this, say yes in the chat. Any of you guys ever have an aha moment where you're running, and then you hear something or you see something or you do something and you're like, holy shit. Like, I think this is it. This is crazy. Right? Yeah, a lot of you guys. Yeah, a lot of you guys are pumping in the chat. Thank you. Well, I found a way to duplicate myself multiple times, which as an entrepreneur and as somebody who's growing your business, that's like what everybody wants, right? You grow your business, you start hiring your team, you're like, well, I don't want to hire this person because he can't do it the way that I can do it, right? I can do it better. And unfortunately, I thought like that for years. And that's why it took me 4 years to hire my first employee, right? And that's why every time I hire an employee, I struggle in my mind. I'm like, shit, if I hire an employee, am I gonna still do it better than this person? But you have to let that go. And once I let that go, once I freed that, that's when everything started really rolling. So I found a way to duplicate myself multiple times. And here's the crazy part. It was a simple framework, not people. So you're probably wondering, well, Chad, I need 300 people, and maybe 5 of them can do what I can do, right? But what I realized is it's actually not. And if you look right here to the right of that, this is our actual call center. I went back in the time capsule. Okay? This is our actual call center when we first opened the new office. And there's probably about maybe 6 or 7 people in there. It fit about, I think, like 13 to 15 people in that call center. These are all of our closers closing deals. These are not fronters. Those people that you see on the phones, they're in the middle of consultations closing deals. Okay? But what I realized going through this journey is it's not only about the people, but it's about the frameworks. Because if you can create a framework of the way that you do things and a process of the way that you do things, then you can take that and find a good person and implement it into them and teach that person, then they can take your frameworks and then they can become you. You guys on the same page here? Can you drop a 5 in the chat if you guys are with me really quick? 5 in the chat if you guys are all on the same page. I want to make sure everybody here is alive. There's hundreds. Guys, there's hundreds of you on here. I'm so excited for this. There's hundreds of you on here from all over the world. By the way, guys, if you guys are jumping on right now, I want to make sure that you stay all the way until the end of this webinar. We're about to get into the frameworks right now of building basically a lead gen machine. And at the end of the webinar, I'm going to give you guys a freebie. So just hang tight, okay? So I finally found a way, after 10 years, literally, I found a simple way to multiply myself, okay? What I realized was there's literally an entire world out there, okay? So I did what every true entrepreneur does best. I took a risk. I went full force and applied the frameworks across the world. The frameworks that were working for me. If you look to the right over here, the backstory on this is I literally took a flight all the way to Tijuana, Mexico. I actually took a flight to San Diego, landed in San Diego, parked my car at a hotel, took an Uber or a taxi or whatever it was, across all the way to the Mexican border, went into Tijuana, Mexico from San Diego, found a call center. This was a call center. Obviously, I found it before I went there, right? Found a call center that was already built, that can literally, I can just go and dump in my frameworks, right? I didn't have to do anything. I didn't have to worry about all the heavy lifting, the building, getting computers, getting desks, hiring, processes. Like, I don't want to do anything. I got my framework. I got the shit that works. I want to just figure out how to take it and dump it, okay? So I went out, flew all the way to Mexico, and this was their call center. And those people that you guys see there that are chatting, those are the reps that were going to start on their first day of work as a fronter. Okay, that was our fronting team in Tijuana, Mexico. I literally flew there so I can train them and be with them for an entire day. Talk about going big. Let's keep going. You guys want to see what our daily results look like? Say yes in the chat. Say yes in the chat. Show you guys some results. Let's go P&P real quick. So from doing this exact approach, here's what our Skype looked like. So every time after they scheduled an appointment with a person who was interested in hearing what we had to say more about our digital marketing services, we were using Schedule once back in the day, which is similar to Calendly or whatever other scheduling software you want to use. They would literally copy the appointment, they would drop it in Skype, and they would write some notes. Okay? But if you guys see here, look at the difference. 11:38, new lead. 11:44, new lead. 12:11, new lead. 12:31, new lead. Every couple of minutes, there was a new lead that was going into our calendar that was booked. I'm not talking about like a form fill, guys. I'm talking about leads that are actually booked on the calendar, okay? And if you guys can see here, look at the second lead in here. He spent $2,000 for a 3-page website and he doesn't like it. He's expecting a call from us by 4 p.m. today to hopefully help him. These are qualified leads. He's interested to review the website and doesn't have a current website. He's expecting a call from us in 30 minutes from now. I'm talking about high-level quality leads, okay? Let's go back P&P real quick. At the end of the day, we used to get a report. Our project manager in the call center used to send us a report. Her name was Jeannie. Okay? Now 6:58 my time, 7:58, which we had, at this point we had our closers here in the United States. We had one prospecting call center in Tijuana, Mexico, and one prospecting call center in the Philippines. Okay? Now this is for 3 reps. 22 new booked appointments in one day from 3 reps. Each appointment is a 20-minute appointment scheduled on our calendar. Guys, would having this change your life? Can you say yes in the chat? Having a way where you don't have to deal so much with the prospecting end, where your focus is more of just jumping on calls and closing deals, man. That's what we all want, isn't it, as entrepreneurs? As business owners? Let's keep going. Guys, who wants the 5-step framework for building a lead generation machine? I'm going to walk you through it right now. Drop a yes in the chat. Yes in the chat. We got to make some noise, guys. You guys got to pump me up. Yes in the chat. Let's go. All of you guys. All right, let's get to it. All right, guys, I want you to get your notebooks out, get your screenshots ready, because shit's about to go down here, people. We went through the backstory, you understand the struggles. Now I want to talk to you about some wins. Step number 1, team building. Let's get to it. Now the first thing that you guys need to understand is what a fronter is. Most of you guys have heard this word, a fronter. It's a prospector. It's an appointment scheduler. They all mean the same shit. We call them fronters, right? A fronter is somebody who, the first thing, their responsibility is to memorize their pitch and rebuttals to be conversational and not robotic. Okay? Conversational and not robotic. What does that mean? Well, that means I don't sound like a robot. How many people, sometimes when you read scripts, you sound like a robot, man? Or how many people have heard scripts where you sound like a robot? Drop a yes in the chat. Anybody? Yeah, a lot of you guys. So a fronter's responsibility is to make sure that you can memorize the pitch and that it's conversational and not robotic. Okay? Also, A fronter's responsibility is to make as many calls in a day as they possibly can. The next thing is, a fronter's responsibility is to get people slightly interested in your unique offer. Then schedule a call for the closer. You realize how slightly is underlined? You are not trying to sell here. You as a fronter, your job is not to go out and sell things. Your job as a fronter is to get people slightly interested in your unique offer, enough for them to say, yes, I want more information. That makes sense? Let's talk about a closer really quick. Closer responsibilities. Introduce the offer now in further detail. So the fronter went out, told them a little bit about what you were offering, a little bit about the program, didn't mention pricing, didn't talk about anything like that. That's not the fronter's job. That's the closer's job. Okay? The closer's job is to introduce the offer in further detail, which is, most of you know it as a consultation call, as a demo call, as whatever it is that you want to call it. Okay? The closer's call is also to handle any rebuttals or objections during that call. Because during the closing process, that's where most of the rebuttals actually happen. People are like, hey, your prices are too high. Or people are like, hey, is this going to work for me? Or I got to speak to my wife. Or I got to call my grandma, make sure it's a good fit. Right? Is this a good fit? Right? Your closer needs to be able to handle those rebuttals and objections flawlessly. The last thing that a closer needs to do is close the deal and actually take payment. Okay? Guys, today, for the lead generation machine for step 1, we're going to be focusing on the fronters. Okay? Because your job, especially if most of you guys are in an agency or in a business where it's just you, or it's you and maybe another 1 or 2 people, and you have a small team, under 5 people, you need to focus on your fronting. Okay? Fronters are the people who go out and actually get the money without actually getting the money, if that makes any sense. Guys, that make any sense to you guys so far? Say yes in the chat. Say yes in the chat. We're going to keep going here. Yes, 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 yes. Guys, there's hundreds of people here. Let's go. Light up the chat. Say yes in the chat. If it's making sense. Get a lot of you guys. All right, awesome. All right, so we talked about team building. All right, and actually I'll go back a step really quick. Okay, most of you guys are like, well, Chad, oh, what do I do to get fronters? How's this done? Well, there's tons of places online where you can go and you can hire fronters. You can build call centers. They have outsourced call centers that you can find online, right? Tons of people where the responsibility is to do this right here. One of 3 things. Actually, all 3 things. But your responsibility is to give them the framework that works. Okay? Let's keep going.